What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of StreamKey. I'm Velokk, as most of you know, and today we have obviously Sadomi as the amazing co-host. What's going on, Mike?
Good morning. Good morning. What's up? What's up? What's up?
Oh yeah, dude, it's good to have you as always. And we got the amazing guest, Robbusey. You guys know who he is. If you don't, now you do. It's Robbusey.
How's it going, everybody? Thanks for having me back, Vel.
Oh yeah. Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate you. Yo, Mezzo JD, what's going on? Welcome. So yeah, we got a few topics today. It's been a couple weeks since we've been on the show, but not really too much has happened, to be honest. First thing we got for today is Delor's band got revoked. You guys might remember him from last year. He was the guy who would take keyboards and break him over his head. He seemed to have gotten his band revoked on Twitch, and he's very, very happy about it. He was very vocal about Twitch, giving him another chance and everything, which is cool that he's being so positive and upbeat about it. And it's good that he got unbanned, because I didn't think that the ban was really worth it in the first place, because apparently he took a lot of keyboards and broke them over his head multiple times, and he just got banned for doing it once, maybe too excessively or something. I don't really remember. But Sadomi, what do you got on this one, man?
Glad to see him back. It's giving people second chances, I think, is good of Twitch, because again, a lot can change in a year, and we do have a lot of younger people on the platform. And I know when I was 14, I was totally different than when I was 13 and then 16 and 15. So much can change in a year based on those general age ranges. And so, hey, Intel Channel's back. He's happy. Twitch is, gonna probably keep a close eye on him, making sure things are still good. But yeah, this might lead to other people being unbanned too in the future, possibly, maybe, depending on who. The biggest one I'm looking out for is seeing what happens with Ice Poseidon if he's still around.
True. Yeah, I mean, if they do give him a second chance, then who else is going to get unbanned? So that is interesting. What do you got, Robu?
I think it's good. I am guilty of watching streamers because I know they're going to rage. Like back in the day when I would watch a ton of StarCraft, I would watch Idra, who was just notorious for breaking his keyboards and cursing a lot and all sorts of stuff. And I am guilty of being entertained by that kind of content. But at the same time, after that long, people do change, and he also seems very legitimately grateful to have his channel back. So I'm hoping he's kind of learned and kind of grown over time, and he'll be able to make better content and break less crap on his skull. So
right, yeah. Maybe less harmful stuff to break, and maybe less harmful places to break it on.
Yeah. So let's hope. But yeah, no, I'm glad. It feels good. It feels like one of those situations where I actually agree with a decision that Twitch made.
Really?
Yeah. So yeah.
Just because he was kind of causing self-harm?
Yeah, I mean, I agreed with that at the time, but I also agree with him being unbanned, right?
Right.
There's so many other things that have happened on Twitch that should have caused a ban that didn't, that I was very what where is the the goalpost here? I feel like you keep moving it, and I don't know where the boundaries are. And but yeah, no, I feel like them bringing him back is it makes sense to me. It doesn't feel weird. So
it should not have been a year. There's that a year is a long time.
Yeah, man. Especially just for breaking a keyboard on your head. That's insane.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, he also has kind of a history of being that way, but like we also said, a lot can happen just with your own personality in a year, right? So I'm hoping having that happen, and now having his channel back, and again how grateful he seems to have it back, I'm hoping it'll end up making a change for the better.
Right. Do you guys know what happened to that streamer? I think he got banned for firing a weapon on stream while being intoxicated.
I remember
you guys,
that.
Yeah, I haven't heard about him in forever, which fair.
Yeah, which probably means that he's banned, I imagine. Like, I remember like the organizations that he was with like dropped him, and I don't remember much after that. I mean, he might have gotten banned from Twitch, but yeah, like that one was crazy. That's a ban that I think everybody probably supports, because that was nuts. All right, so next topic we have is most of Mixer streamers went to Twitch instead of Facebook. So let me pull the article up and see if there's actually like a number, or I don't think they have any actual like tracked stats about it. Where is my fucking cursor? Hello, there it is. But yeah, so even with Facebook trying to buy out Mixer and get all those streamers over on their platform, it didn't necessarily work out the way that they wanted it to. Go figure. They're all still on Twitch for the most part. Robu, what do you got on this one, man? While I look up the numbers.
It's interesting to me because part of me is like, duh, like
yeah,
right. But the other part is to like with everything going on with the whole DMCA stuff and like the fact that Facebook has actually started like partnering with artists and like actually getting some decent music that you can use for your streams is cool. But I mean, it makes sense to me. Like when you think about just game streaming in general, like yeah, Facebook is cool and all, but like it's not one of the top dogs that you really think about. And then you also have to remember that everybody that's coming from Mixer probably has like platform PTSD, right? Like they got dropped hard, and it was not in a good way, right? There was partnered Mixer streamers that didn't know that this was happening and like found out like everybody else. And they're probably, at least right now, looking at like the platform that to them seems to have the most longevity, right? Like they're probably like, I've spent so much time trying to build my community and build my channel, and then this stuff happened and it was all gone and taken away from me. Like if I'm going to do that again, which to me, like if I was in that situation, like I would be incredibly discouraged, and like I would probably have to like sit back and think like, do I want to go through the effort of doing all of the stuff I did before on another platform, right? So if I was going to have that kind of pep talk with myself, it would be, okay, I need to make sure that if I am going to do this, I'm going to be on the most secure platform in my mind that I can think of, which I hate to say it, but between the two, it's not Facebook, right?
What? No way, dude.
Yeah. So, I mean, it makes sense to me. Nothing too crazy there, to be honest. But yeah, like I said, the main thing for me just is thinking back on it. Like I said, if I was going to have to do everything I did that I was doing on Mixer to grow my community and grow my channel, and I had to basically just hit the restart button, I would not do it on Facebook.
That's fair. I mean, yeah, I totally agree. Sadomi, what do you got on this one, man?
Any Mixer. So as I kind of look back on it, thinking really hard about the situation, any Mixer streamer that kind of didn't expect this to happen at some point was already kind of shooting themselves in the foot. I mean, granted, you don't really expect your platform to just like act out after 30 days. Maybe it's like a 90-day thing. Because that was mad short notice. It was ridiculous. The last days of Mixer, if anyone was browsing the Mixer pages, it looked so dead. All you had were bots and people's like streams up there saying, "Hey, I'm actually here." Instead, it's like a ghost town. It was kind of eerie.
So weird.
But yeah, I think any streamer that kind of knows, hey, don't put all your eggs in one basket, especially on a platform where you're essentially renting space. Yeah, like Twitch, even though it's not the best place for a lot of streamers, it's the place where hey, it'll probably be here in another year. And I mean, I don't know much about Twitch's finances or how Twitch runs, but I'm assuming it'll be here for maybe 2 years, 3 years. I don't know. The world could change.
It definitely has a better chance than Facebook for sure.
Yeah, I mean, Facebook does have a huge user base and a huge budget, and they like data, so they're going to keep data on people as much as possible. But like it's most of those streamers too didn't start on Mixer either. They came from either Twitch or like a different platform. They're probably already just used to being on Twitch, and that comfortability, that familiarity, just kind of sticks out to them.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We'll see.
Right. Okay, so it says with Mixer out of the picture, Twitch ended up with 91.1% of all hours spent streaming on these platforms between July and September, according to a new report from Streamlabs and Stream Hatchet. They looked at streaming activity on Twitch, YouTube, Facebook Gaming, and Facebook Gaming. Facebook Gaming grew slightly during that period, 3.4% to 3.4% from 2.4%. And YouTube shrunk slightly to 5.5 from 6.7. So Twitch is still like just the superior platform as far as hours streamed by far. That's insane. Yeah, that's crazy. And it's weird to me that YouTube actually like went down. That's just nuts. But yeah, like you guys are saying, it does make sense that they chose Twitch over Facebook. Facebook just doesn't have the appeal of like your typical gamer. Like, yeah, you like they did make it so you can listen to a lot of copyrighted music, at least if you're a Facebook partnered streamer. But I still don't think that's enough to negate the fact that you're streaming on Facebook. I would not want to stream on Facebook, no matter what kind of music I could listen to. When I think of Facebook, I think of aunts and uncles. Absolutely, dude.
Yeah, I think of family that I haven't talked to in a while, basically.
Yeah.
And like, I don't want them to see my stream, like I swear a fucking lot.
Right. I'm gonna play some Diablo, everybody. Hey, Grandma.
Okay, so next topic we have is the Dr. Disrespect ban allegedly came directly from top Twitch executives. So they think it was either from like the corporate board or something, or like the CEO themselves, because apparently the people who are in charge of like banning and moderating on Twitch didn't really have any say in him getting banned, and they were kind of just told to do it. There's still no reason why. We still have no idea, but that's like the newest thing to come out, is that it's probably from somebody higher up, which I think kind of like everybody expected, based on like how hush hush it's all been. But like to get a little bit more clarification on it from, I think it was somebody in a Reddit page, somebody that had some knowledge of it, or maybe they're just sitting there like just all day trying to figure this out. But I don't know. Sadomi, you got anything on this one? It's still the Dr. Disrespect ban stuff that we don't really have too much more information on. So
yeah, you can tell when a ban comes from higher ups versus a team, because when it comes from that high up in the company, you have more power to do things. So just keeping things like quiet, more people have like less people have access to information at the top. For instance, we will never know what Emmett Shear and Jeff Bezos talk about. But if it's like on the Twitch projects team, or even like the Twitch Prime team, something could, spread out, leak out, because more people are involved there. Yeah, which, it's unfortunate, but that's kind of how, corporate hierarchy goes. The higher up it gets, the more hush hush you can get, and the more power. Because if someone finds out, hey, you told people about the DD ban, it's nice not having a job, isn't it? And also, blacklisted from all my other friends who own other companies too. So don't F up, Jim.
Right.
Yeah.
Robu.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Sadomi said, like the more people know about it, the more it's going to leak out, right? It's like the old saying of, the only way two people can keep a secret is if one of them is dead, right? Like I'm willing to bet like as a whole, the number of people that actually know what happened with Doc's ban is maybe 4 or 5 people, and 3 of those people are on a legal team. Like, and they're probably going to know better, right? So like, I'm always super suspicious when anybody says anything online about them knowing something. And I hate to say it, but even Slasher, like, I know what happened, but I'm not going to say anything. I was like, you don't know shit. Because like I've seen internal like emails, and people that should know don't know, right? Like, so I'm willing to bet that this speculation is probably very accurate. I'm willing to bet it is like super high up that this came from, and it's staying there, right? Specifically so it doesn't get out, because once that happens, it's going to be a whole nother legal battle depending on everything that's happening behind the scenes. So I mean, it makes sense to me, but yeah, I'm willing to bet there is a very small handful of people that actually know what's going on, because I don't know people that do, and I know people that should. So so it's interesting.
Yeah, I'm excited because I know that Dr. Disrespect was talking about some legal stuff going on. Hopefully they can find something out, because it's crazy. Like it blows my mind that literally nobody knows, and it's just an order to just ban this guy, and literally nobody knows why. It's just insane. So I hope that Doc and his team can win the legal case with whatever they're doing, so we can get some more light on this, because I would really like to know who and why who decided to make this decision and why, because it's just entertaining to me, to be honest.
Right.
Let's see. Oh yeah, back to what Crazy Ass was saying. He says, when I think of Facebook, I think of aunts and uncles. I don't think about a young, vibrant community of people that will help me grow. That's also a really good point that I didn't really think of, to be honest, because the thing about Twitch and Mixer at the time is that there was a lot of other streamers on there. Like, the platform is just viewers and streamers. There's no trying to decipher who's who or anything, and everybody just wants to support people just because Twitch and friendship, basically. Whereas on Facebook, I guess you really don't get that gaming community kind of thing at all, because it's not necessarily for gamers. Like, Facebook wasn't intended for gamers in the first place, and it shows, because you still, I don't know. I just never thought about it that way, Crazy, but that makes a lot of sense. I almost felt like a NDA thing, IDK, like a legal thing. No idea. There's always been rumors, but nothing concrete that I've seen. Yeah, and I look this up all the time. Every week for this show, I look up Twitch news, and there's always nothing new about Doc, just updated articles that are more speculation. Let's see. All right, so the next topic is Twitch staff tricking streamers into promoting brands. So there was, I'm assuming this has happened to a lot of other people. I doubt that this is the first time, but it's the first time that I saw it on Twitter. Somebody screenshotted a Twitch staff in somebody's chat cheering about 400 bits and say hello to whatever company paid me to do this, basically. It's kind of like what Burger King decided to do when they would just donate to a streamer like $3 to $5 and do a long promotion thing for the new Whopper or whatever. Hey guys, check out Depends adult diapers. That's a real ad, not a real ad. I don't think we can say that. No,
I'm wearing them right now.
But yeah, so Robu, we'll start with you on this one. What do you think about this, man?
Don't do this. So bad. It reminds me of the Burger King thing, and then them coming in and doing the donation. And I will be perfectly transparent. If Burger King came into my chat and donated $500, they can say whatever the hell they want. If they're gonna come in and give me $5, get the hell out of here.
That's not that
crap. Right. But yeah, it's just there are so many better ways to go about doing that, right? And it just does not make you as a platform look good, especially because, people have already called out, right? There's not anything you as a streamer can do to remove that comment from your stream, right? It's just there. It's just really not a good look, again, especially when they're here's some pocket change and bits. I'm going to say something now. Come on. If you're going to go the extra mile of I need to donate something to say something so they'll call this out, at least make it worth a damn, right? But they didn't even do that. And to be honest, even if they did make it worth it, I'd still question it. There are still better ways to go about doing that, right? And if I would also feel different about it if it was an official partner channel for that brand rather than a Twitch staff member coming in and doing it with their wrench in your chat, right?
Yep.
And it feels like the reason that they didn't do a partnered branded official channel is because they know that a staff member's comment can't be removed, right?
Right.
It's going to live there for eternity. Yeah, it's just not a good look. Just don't do that. Just stop doing it. We don't like ads. I don't even like sitting through an ad before I go to a friend's stream. Like I realize you have to make money. Find a different way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, a different way that's not $4 in bits, so you'll see that money in 15 to 30 days.
Yeah.
Like,
Neat. Awesome.
If you get the payout.
I can finally get that Big Mac in a month. And so can't get the fries though, just the sandwich.
Sadomi, what do you got on this one, man?
So the streamer they did it to he's called the Black Okage, and if you guys don't know who he is, he don't play that shit.
Okay.
He doesn't. He's very adamant about being transparent about speaking out on issues with Twitch, YouTube, other content creators. And if this was any other like broadcaster, it might have like scooped by the wayside. But Twitch has picked the wrong person. They picked the worst person possible. Along with that too, what's stopping anyone else from actually doing that now? Because now we're seeing that's going to be a trend. Because as much as I hate saying about it, and who listens to me ever on a week-to-week basis, day-to-day basis, if people are talking about it, it was successful most of the time. So we're going to see this happen again. Maybe not with Twitch staff, but you're going to see a lot of other companies, smaller agency brands coming in and be like, hey, you could donate $10 to the streamer, and then be like, hey, we hope you like our insert crappy water bottle product here. And and then what's going to happen is streamers going to have to be like, okay, I'm taking off all like alerts now to follow and sub alerts. And then at some point you'll have somebody be like, let me just make a new account called BK has the best new burger. Thanks for following. And then tear off all alerts. And then people don't get alerts. So people don't get the same revenue share from their audience because they don't get that same satisfaction of being like, hey, I subbed, my messages came up on stream because that feed is not there anymore because it was abused. And then everyone's experience, everyone's revenue, everyone's experience on Twitch goes down. And then you start the weird spiraling decay of what can corporate do to ruin Twitch every single day, to the point where you'll see a skeleton of his former self. You'll see a lot of people leaving the platform to do other things with their time, because if they want it to be advertised as much as they are right now, they would just go watch television.
True. Mezzo JD said, yeah, but it seems more successful in a bad way. I mean, yeah, but at the same time, it's still not that bad because you're still talking about it, like he's saying. Like, just the fact that that we're bringing it up in general means that it's at least working somehow. It might be bad. It might be a bad PR move for them, but it does have the potential to continue to work, you know?
Well, especially if you have a leadership team that gives zero shits about sentiment and only cares about engagement and everything else, right? Like, look at how many stories have been written about this, right? Like, and I'm not saying that Twitch is that company, because I mean, I'm obviously on a different team, but like, I know our team really cares about like what people are saying and how they were talking about it and stuff like that. But I've also definitely worked for other companies that do not care about the sentiment about what customers are saying or anything like that. They're just like, yeah, but look how many impressions and clicks and everything else that it's getting right now. Look how many like articles have been written. People are talking about this. This is great. Like, so it sucks, but yeah.
Yeah.
Loba says, do you guys think Twitch will eventually run themselves out of business? I don't really see that happening. Like, they'd have to do a lot of really big things to make people actually end up leaving Twitch.
I mean, eventually they will, because, you know, time, business structures.
True.
I don't think Twitch is one of those companies that we'll see 50 years from now. But in the short term, I wouldn't have any worries of them like going under because with their current state right now, they're probably making a lot more from ad revenue, which helps keeps the finances up. Which even if less people leave, I think you could, and I don't have exact numbers here, but I think you could even legitimately have 50% of Twitch leave, and if you can get enough ad revenue to cover that, that would actually even be better for Twitch because every user takes up bandwidth, server storage, all that maintenance, bans teams, all that cost can be cut down with less users.
Right.
And if you advertise out more, you get more per user. So keeping that like balance is important for Twitch. If you have too many users and not enough revenue from each user, then it's too expensive to run. You start losing money, and then you have to start taking loans, and then it's just bad. But if you have enough, income from each user, then that's fine. And 99% of people on Twitch don't contribute anything financially to Twitch.
Right.
So, you have to find ways to get around that from a business perspective.
Yeah. I mean, even if half the user base left on Twitch or half the streamer base or anything, they still would control basically half of the industry. You know what I mean? With the amount of people that are still on Twitch compared to other platforms, that's what I'm saying. It would take a lot for that for Twitch to just go under and stop being a thing, because they are pretty much the standard for streaming, and it shows based on the number of hours streamed. But it is interesting that they just continue to make terrible decisions just all the time. It is like they're trying to run their company into the ground sometimes. It definitely feels like that. I think for a lot of people, Twitch is also the most comfortable and familiar. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Wouldn't be surprised if they adjusted Prime Gaming to be $2 per instead of $2.50 for the default cut. No comment. All right. But they're still growing, so who knows? Lol. Do you guys think they still made ad revenue even off 0 viewer streams? No.
The way ads work, it's every person that's shown in. So you get charged based on how many people get seen in ad, get served an ad. So for every 1,000 people that see an ad, the ad could cost between $5, $10, $20, $30, depending on what target audience is going towards. Most streamers will get a CPM rate. Twitch charges way more than that. But you get just a little bit piece of that because they want to keep you happy, keep you showing ads, which granted, Twitch streamers don't show ads because they suck for live content. So much that we'll say that if Veli, I'm not sure how much Veli runs that, but if Veli ran ads, I would say he would lose about 40 to 50% of his user base over time, just because when someone sees an ad, especially in today's economy, mental economy, you see an ad, what's the first thing you do? Find something else. You get your phone, you alt tab, you literally anything else. I almost closed the TRUgaming stream today because I saw an ad. I had a reflex. And I was like, wait, I'm on it. I should probably keep it up, keep the chat up.
Yeah, ads ruin things for sure. And you don't even get enough of a payout to justify it to yourself. Yeah, I might lose viewers, but I'm still not making money. Isn't that great? It's just there's no positives to streamers unless you're a top tier streamer that'll make a few $100s on each ad that you roll. Good for you if you can do that, but obviously most people on Twitch cannot. So the next topic we have is Twitch's soundtrack feature. So for those of you that don't know, Twitch is introducing I think you have to apply for it, and they're not just letting everybody get in right away. But this is music that you're allowed to play on stream. It's all copyright free, and I don't really know too much about it, but I know somebody who wants to say some things. Robu, what do you got on this one, man?
I absolutely hate soundtrack, and I want it to die in a fire. That's basically what I have to say about it. It doesn't protect you from DMCA. They're partnering with a couple different partners that anybody can upload anything to it. You could make a bootleg remix of a current song and put it up there. And I hate to say it, but I don't have high confidence in any sort of curation on Twitch's end to make sure that a song doesn't get through. Right. The other issue that I really have with it is there's certain things that soundtrack has or doesn't have to avoid certain licenses. that are required of doing certain things. Like you need a mechanical license, so it's not just internet radio, and you could actually like fast forward a track or click through something or, you know, interact with it, right? You also have to give, you know, screen real estate to like basically the artist that is currently being played on your stream. There's a bunch of just different issues with it, but like I hate the fact that I think they're using one of like 3 different licenses that you really need to like actually ensure that artists are actually being paid too. But like the music industry in general, I also just kind of despise, at least in its current form, because like, I mean, there's artists there that have platinum records, but because of recoupment fees and everything else with their record labels, they're just in debt, right? Like it's insane to me. So the fact that you now have soundtrack that specifically doesn't have certain features, like I said, like being able to fast forward a track or skip a track or things like that, because they don't want to pay a mechanical license and a synchronization license. And that's why, like, you know, if you use soundtrack in a certain way on your stream, it's actually against terms of service. Like,
you can't skip a song.
Yeah, like it's stupid. And so it's just insane to me. Like I would rather I'm just going to use Harris Heller's stream beats and I'm going to call it a day. Like that's a plug for Harris. Thank you.
Hell
but
yeah.
like, it's just, yeah. I mean, you have the money. Like, do it right. Make sure artists are getting paid. Like even Facebook went and is like working with getting proper licenses from artists to use their music. Just do it right? Like, and I hate to say it, but after everything that has happened over like the last year of random missteps, and like I don't, to be totally fair, I don't think it's any one person's deliberate intention to do things. I think it's a large number of multiple different teams that don't communicate to each other at all, that are all in their own individual silos, that are making mistakes and that are just not talking to the proper people. They don't have the right stakeholders involved or whatever. And we're just seeing the public face of what happens when those products and things go out, right? But this could have been done so much better and so much more fair to artists. And it just feels bad to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hate it.
Yeah.
I didn't know that you couldn't skip music on there. Like that's
It's not interactive at all because then you have to pay a mechanical license.
that's ridiculous.
So it's just an overlay with the artists, and they're basically being paid in exposure bucks.
Yeah,
like,
that's basically Twitch just being like, here you go, fucking idiot, deal with it yourself. Like we did the thing, now shut up and quit complaining. Like that's what that feels like for sure. Like it just, the fact that you can't skip music, like I know for sure there's gonna be music on there that I don't like, probably most of it. So I will not even attempt to use it on stream if I can't skip a song.
right.
I skip songs that I like. Like,
Yeah. Well, like that's also why like I've, you know, and I already mentioned it, but like that's also why I like Harris's stuff, because like I can go make my own playlist out of stream beat stuff, out of the instrumental things that I do like. Or if I want to, he also has it on Discord and I can just download the individual songs and like, you know, put them as like sounds in my stream deck if I wanted to do that, or
That's
on a
pretty
Steam.
cool.
Like it's much easier to just do that rather than like, okay, now if I'm going to use soundtrack, I know that I'm basically ripping some people off and I have to have this overlay on my stream that no one can even interact with, and that I can't skip the music if I hate the track. Perfect. I would rather listen to my stupid ass Diablo Templar say the same 15th like voice line that I've heard millions of times over and over and over and over again than like listen to, you know, terrible EDM beats in the background with like police sirens. Like, is somebody here to like, did they finally find me? You know, I don't want to listen to that stuff.
So you really like it. You're a big supporter.
Yeah, no, I absolutely hate it.
That's fair. So, Domi, what do you think about this, man? After that amazing sales pitch from Robu.
If I was still streaming, I would just say screw. I'm just going to do Spotify or YouTube again. Like at this point, I think enough people know how to dodge DMCA's just well enough. Like, don't play things in the top 500. Don't play things that are super popular, and just kind of like skirt around it. Because if you want to do it at this point, Twitch tried and they failed.
Mm-hmm.
The music industry is not going to budge. So if you want to do it, it's like getting a new organ off the black market. You just got to know the right people, the right place to go. You just got to go get it yourself.
Thanks, Trevor, for the kidney.
Yeah, I've resorted to using Epidemic Sound, which is a website that has DMCA free or copyright free music. Not that great for me, but if you like that kind of music, it might suit you a little bit better. I've also resorted to like trying to learn how to make my own shit, just because I don't want to have to listen to EDM all the time or house music or lo-fi, because I don't want to listen to lo-fi at all. But yeah, so it sucks that Twitch isn't really doing anything. Like, I was like, maybe this will be cool, I'll check it out, and now I definitely don't want to check it out at all, and neither should you. Okay, no, you should check it out if you want to. Let us know if you like it. We do want to know. Next topic we have is WWE takes over independent contractors' Twitch accounts and makes streaming mandatory. I'm going to start with Sadomi on this one, because I feel like he's going to have the most to say, because he's a big fan.
Honestly, it's WWE. I kind of saw that coming.
Mm-hmm.
And the funniest thing about it is that I'm sure a lot of those like wrestlers don't horribly mind, but at the same time they don't want Vince's like dirty old 85-year-old gropey hands in their like personal business too much.
Right.
Because, you know, Vince likes to put everything into whatever pot he can. And granted, for like business wise, yeah, good move. Personally wise, I'm like, can you just like not be a POS for like 10 minutes, Vince?
Yeah.
Like just 10 minutes. Like, you did good allowing women to wrestle and not be like, you know, treat like actual wrestlers and not just glorified sex symbols. So
right.
Thank you for that. Took you freaking what 20 plus years. But you know, just like every wrestling fan expected that. Once you know Vince McMahon, the owner of WWE, the big bad himself, you knew this was gonna happen. He hates giving control away so much. Where, if you guys didn't know, wrestlers also license out their names to WWE, or WWE makes new names for them, so they can have control over it. So if you go to WWE using your real name, you can't use that for wrestling ever again, because you're going to own that license. So if, let's say, my name's Robert Clark. If you go use Robert Clark during wrestling, in WWE, I have to go by like Sadomi or something else everywhere else I wrestle. For us, so however long they own the rights to that. And knowing WWE, it's until I die.
Right.
Yeah.
It is crazy. It's crazy how they went from like not wanting their entertainers to stream on Twitch to like, now it's mandatory and we're taking your money. What's up, dude? Like, it totally flipped, and it really, really sucks now. Like, I'd be really mad if I was a WWE independent contractor and I was just getting treated this terribly. Like, I'd be very, very mad. Robu, what do you got, man?
Not much beyond what Sadomi said, but yes, Vince McMahon is a giant POS, and like, you have enough money, you're done. Just stop. Like, it's, my God, it's but yeah, no, I definitely saw it coming, and I mean, it makes me sad, but it just feels like a just a money grubbing play.
Oh yeah,
I mean, yeah. It's like,
absolutely. It would, yeah.
Yep.
He's just taking their money for their work.
Thanks, guys.
Their stream. It's crazy. And now it's like mandatory. So it's like not even if you don't want to stream anymore, like you still have to, and we're still gonna take your money, suck it up. Like that sucks.
Yeah.
As soon as someone's forced to do something, it instantly makes it not as fun.
Yeah, no, absolutely, like 100%. Like, I mean, like I like drawing, right? But the moment somebody's like, I need you to draw this, and it's not the thing that I want to draw, I hate it. Right? It's just like the same thing. Like, oh, I liked streaming until you're telling me I have to, and I have to do it this way and do X, Y, and Z. Like, I hate to say it. Like, I like streaming on my channel and playing the games that I like playing. I've streamed on the Prime Gaming channel, and I've played other games that I probably wouldn't normally play, but like the format is completely different. I have to hit talking points and everything else, and I still enjoy it, but not nearly as much as I enjoy just being on my own channel and playing Diablo.
Oh, absolutely. I don't enjoy this as much as I enjoy being on my own channel. I'm not even gonna like I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, I like podcasting, I like helping you guys out, and like this is a pretty cool thing. But like I have a lot more fun on my own channel because I'm doing my own thing. I don't have to do research before it, like I don't know. It is different for sure. And once you're forced to do it, or once it's your job, it's less fun. 100%.
Right. I've played Diablo for 8 years. I am the research.
So that's pretty much it for the topics today. I have a couple questions that somebody, a viewer / listener, was asking me the other day that I want to go over with you guys. But yeah, chat, if any of you guys have any questions about your own channel or anything that we talked about today, Twitch stuff in general, or streaming, even if it's like not even that much streaming related and it's just gaming, if you guys have any questions for us, we're here to help you guys out with whatever. So let me go into my DMs. So this is Sir Gannicus. So I have a few questions here.
Oh yeah, Sir Gannicus.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, and I love his name.
Hell yeah.
Sir Gannicus.
Do it again.
Sir Gannicus.
So the first one is should I use hashtags on my platforms? I feel like it kind of takes away the sincerity and genuineness from me. I don't want that persona, though my goal is exposure. I don't want people to believe I'm disingenuous, because that's actually something I do believe I am. And I think a lot of people can relate to that, because you don't want to seem like you're being too like grabby for exposure, but at the same time, like you do need it to grow. What I told them was that hashtags need to be used really carefully, depending on the platform, depending on the actual hashtag itself, and to just kind of like learn about the specific platform. Because on Twitch, or on Twitter, sorry, hashtags don't really do that much for you, especially when you do things like hashtag support small streamer or anything like that, because no one's searching for that to find a channel. That's only you that's looking for people who are searching for it, but it's just more people that are just trying to get exposure for their streams. Instagram hashtags are obviously a lot more usable, where you can do like 50 of them and no one's really going to hate your post because of it. But if you do like more than 3 I'd say more than 2 on a Twitter post, people are probably not going to pay much attention to it.
Yeah.
Sadomi, you're in on the social media stuff. So what do you say about this, man?
There are thousands, if not hundreds, of resources on how to use different tags, different discoverability strategies for every single platform out there. If you're not 100% like, okay, so 99% of the people watching this show have a problem with discoverability, which means they have a problem with marketing and their brand. Brand is not your colors. Brand is what people think about you and what people go to you for. And a lot of streamers, this is also kind of why I always have this thing about streamers. They always have this thing where they do not understand who they're making content for. And a lot of people are like, just whoever watches. That doesn't help you. That doesn't help you at all.
Right.
Think about it. If I am Depends adult diapers, who is my target audience? Adults with,
crap themselves.
Yeah.
So it's not babies.
Yeah. No, like you would market it to children. You'd put it on TV shows with midday TV shows that show in the afternoon, early morning news shows, all those places. If you're selling alcohol, you're going to market it at clubs, at places where people who are over 21 would do even marketing in school, because one's illegal and two, they can't buy it anyway. So always figure out who you're actually trying to like market for, and then go to places where they are. So use hashtags that person who you're aiming to come see your content would come see. For instance, if I'm a big fan of Overwatch League, I'm going to be looking for Overwatch League content, player interviews, looking for highlight compilations, play breakdowns, team drama, all of that. So before you and don't I don't know why people have the stigma against like trying to like using tools to get like discovered. If you want to be full-time streamer, you fucking have to. Yep. It's like if you don't want to, how can I put it? It's like if you want to buy a house, but you don't want to tour houses.
Yeah. Yep.
Like you gotta tour the house. You gotta go do the thing you have to do to get to that point. So don't ever feel guilty about, hey, I don't want to self-promote. You have to, or you're going to starve to death.
Absolutely. Roby, what do you got on this one, man?
I mean, I don't usually worry too much about being disingenuous by using hashtags, because like Sadomi said, if you want to do this full time, like as a career, you definitely need to be like discoverable, right? And Twitch already has a discovery problem. That's just the way it is right now. The only time that I really have ever seen anybody post things on social media that I felt was disingenuous because they use hashtags was when they were like trying to have like a serious conversation or talk about like something bad happening in their life, and then it's like hashtag dad's funeral, hashtag like just there's certain situations, but like if people are like, hey, this game is great, blah blah blah, whatever, like, and they want to put a couple hashtags, that's fine. Like the only time that it looks weird, and I think there's been a bunch of like articles about like how many hashtags is too many, and like I think it's like after 3, like engagement and stuff like falls off a cliff, things like that. But like it also depends on the platform that you're on, because like you said, like there's definitely been situations where I've put more than 3 on like an Instagram post or whatever.
Yep.
Instagram, you got loaded up.
Yeah, exactly. But like that is the only time that I've ever looked at somebody's post as like, what the hell are you doing? Is like when it's like a serious topic and then they decided to throw hashtags all over it. Like that feels a little weird, but then again, it's also still situational, right? Like I'm probably not going to think about that all the time, but like, yeah, if you're talking about like, something terrible happening in your life and then you throw a bunch of hashtags at the bottom so people can find it, so they can engage with it, it feels a little weird. But I mean, yeah, definitely don't feel bad for trying to promote your content, right? That is something you are going to have to do, especially if you're streaming on Twitch, because that is just a problem that Twitch has. Like that is another, again, people have talked about it many, many times, but that is a reason why it's also good to do things on YouTube to kind of help fix that, right? And people need to find stuff. Just make sure it's relevant. Like I definitely, when I'm putting hashtags into Instagram and stuff like that, and I start typing something in, I'll look and see how many posts are under a certain hashtag, right? Like stuff like that. So be thoughtful about it, but I wouldn't worry about people thinking less of you for using them.
True, absolutely. Real quick before we get into the other questions from Sir Ganagus, Loba had a question, and Virus actually brought up a topic that I totally missed this morning, but we'll start off with Loba. He says, what do you guys think about streaming a game that does good in numbers? I've noticed this playing Rocket League lately, and I really enjoy it, but I definitely still want to keep it variety. Business wise, should I go for the numbers? I'm gonna let Sadomi start with this one.
I'm thinking. So the first thing I'll say is don't stream a game just for the like numbers of it, because once you switch from that game, you're gonna lose a lot of people who weren't for that game. For instance, one of my favorite streamers before, Skaxy, when he stopped streaming Rocket League, I gotta stop showing up because he's streaming Fortnite, and I was like, I wasn't vibing with Fortnite. So, like that. I mean, if you like Rocket League, do it. If you can make good content around Rocket League, do it. But if you don't see yourself being able to do that in the long term, sure, short term you can kind of, you know, ride that for a bit, and then make sure you transition back to your main like source of content, which your main value is as a creator. Like whatever you bring to the table, whatever people come to you for, make sure you're still producing that. And I swear to God, if you tell me they come for a good community and good times, I'm gonna slap you.
Just vibing, dude. Just chilling with the homies. Come see my Twitch. Well, it's different than everybody else's. Wait, what just happened to my thing? Hold on. My bad. I'm messing up somewhere somehow.
Boo.
There we go. I fixed it. We're good. Robu, what do you think about this one, man? About following numbers for games and stuff like that? What games should you stream?
I mean, I definitely, I'm of the thought that you should probably try to stream the things that you are into. Like, I've been in the situation where I played like Overwatch, and it wasn't because I was chasing numbers. I liked Overwatch, but Overwatch was also a very saturated, like, you know, category at the time. I mean, it probably also still is, but at that time it was right after Overwatch was released, so everybody was playing it. And you know, it makes discoverability hard for sure, because you know there's just a ton of people in the category. But after a while I enjoyed it less and less. It became more and more frustrating, and that comes through in your content too, right? And that is, to be honest, like a large part of the reason why I stream Diablo 3, because it's one of the only games that I've consistently enjoyed playing. There's been a bunch of games that I'll come into and play for a little while, but then you kind of hit a wall, or it's just not fun anymore. Like maybe the end game progression isn't there and I'm just bored out of my mind, right? But like if the numbers were great and I'm bored and I'm not enjoying the thing that I'm playing, like that is going to be reflected into how I'm streaming, right? Like I'm not enjoying myself. I'm not energetic because I'm just bored to tears. So I mean, you definitely kind of have to like find an okay balance, but at the same time, not also be afraid of like, you know what? I'm not feeling this. I'm gonna go stream this other game. But then also, like Sadomi said, don't be surprised if there's people that just duck out after that, because like, you know, they came there to watch that game and now you're not playing. So I mean, that's definitely something that will also happen. But you know, if you do have a game that you really do enjoy playing, that you consistently enjoy playing, like just figure out like, okay, how can I actually make some decent content for this, right? Like whether it's making a YouTube video or something like that. Like I'm going to start doing it for Diablo because I just have way too much Diablo knowledge in my head. And to be totally truthful, I looked and watched a bunch of other Diablo content creators, and I think they all have different styles of personalities, and I didn't see mine reflected there. So I was like, they're basically all saying the same information, but they're different styles of the way that information is like sent out to people, right? So I was
different
like,
styles, how?
Right. So it's like different styles of just like there's people on there, and I'm not going to name any names because I enjoy their stuff, but they're like just super monotone, and it's like super mathematical. Like I do not play Diablo like that. I do not min-max all of my stats. Well, it's like, no, if I have 3 more points in intelligence, then my DPS goes up 2.5%. And if I have but they deliver it in such a way that's like, all right, and then I do this, and then I do this, and then it goes up at here, and then I use this build. It's just like not enthusiastic. But there are totally people on the internet that love that style of content, right? Like they are those people, and that is totally fine. Go watch that, right? But kind of getting back to my original point, just kind of like if you have a game, regardless of its numbers, and you just enjoy playing that game, figure out what you can do in that game's community to like better your content, or like where is your spot in that game's community, right? I think that's probably the most important thing. But again, if you do shift games around, just don't be surprised if some people just like, oh, he's not playing that game today, never mind, and then leave. Like, but don't take that personally. Like, Like, I mean, it's the same thing when, you know, streaming wasn't a thing and you would flip through channels on your television and you'd be like, oh God, I'm not watching Matlock. Oh, but Golden Girls. Perfect. Right? Like, it's the same thing. It's like, oh, I don't want to watch this person play this game, but they're great when they play this other game. So I'll come back later if he's playing. Right?
Yeah, I totally agree. You guys made a lot of really good points there. A really good thing that you guys both said is like, not only like, do you enjoy the game, but can you make quality content for that game? It doesn't mean like, can you play it well? Like, you also need to be able to step it up as a streamer, as an entertainer, and try to make whatever it is that you're doing actually entertaining, because if it's just gaming, it's not. And Robu made a really good point that, you know, a lot of delivery and a lot of stream styles are a little bit more monotone and kind of dry, but they can still be really helpful and informative. But like, if you just put like a little bit of emphasis in your voice, a little bit of like a kind of like if you project your voice a little bit, you know, you have a good time, you lighten the mood up a little bit, you can really separate yourself from the other people that have not as energetic way of approach to streaming or whatever it is that they're doing. So literally just like smiling and being more energetic, not like crazy over the top, but like just lighting the mood up a little bit, it will really separate you from other people no matter what game you're playing. But yeah, make sure 100%. Just make sure the game that you're playing is fun for you, that you can make actual quality content about. Try to be different than other people that are creating the content for it. And yeah, don't worry about the view count so much, because people will leave all the time. I mean, I just took a break from streaming for like a week, and I lost like half my viewership probably, but you know, maybe they'll be back some other time. It's literally something that happens. Everybody goes through dips and peaks and plateaus on stream. It's just something that happens, and it's totally normal. And as frustrating as it can be sometimes, it's just part of the game, man. So hopefully we're able to help you out with that, Loba. If you have any other questions, please let us know. Virus wanted to talk about the raids with 5 or less viewers not having any more alert notifications going off. I actually didn't see any articles about that this morning when I looked up all of these topics, which is crazy because like that's a big deal. So yeah, for those of you that don't know, if you go and raid a channel with under 5 viewers, you're not going to get like, there's not going to be a notification that pops up telling the streamer that you raided them. So you literally are just going to be in their chat all of a sudden, and they won't know why. They'll just think that you're just a viewer that came in and clicked on their name. And a lot of people are really upset about it. The original intent was to keep it from like being like raid spams, basically, that were kind of like malicious in a way to just keep bothering you. But what it's done is it's actually canceled out, you know, beginning streamers or smaller streamers that have communities that they really want to go and spread positivity, but now they can't because Twitch wants to do this. We'll start with Robu on this one.
I personally, I don't like this decision because it takes the ability out of my control as the broadcaster to either acknowledge it or not, right? And like, to be honest, if you're going to raid me with 2 people, I'll totally still acknowledge it, right? I'm not that guy, but I would still like the option to do that or not, right? Like maybe I do end up in a situation where I'm just getting raid spammed into oblivion. Then I'll just go and I'll turn off, you know, stream elements, ground control. I'll pause my notifications and I will just not acknowledge it, right? like, oh, okay, cool. And I'll just go back to streaming, right? But I also try to, you know, give everybody the benefit of the doubt. And I'm going to assume in most cases, it's probably going to be just people like wanting to share their community and like raid my channel, right? Like, and that's cool. That's awesome. Thank you for doing that. I want to acknowledge that and thank you for that. Whether it's 2 people or 200 people, like I should be able to like have that choice, right? Like I don't need Twitch to make that decision for me.
Yeah, like it would have been cool if you could customize it yourself to like opt in or opt out for sure. I think a lot of people would have opted out, obviously, but
or even if you could just go into your settings and put a threshold, right? Like show me raids above this number, don't show me raids below this. Right? Like if I wanted to be that guy and have that choice basically made for me in my account settings, cool, whatever. Give me that option. right? I'll still enable every raid that, comes into my channel to show up. But then again, if I end up in that situation where I'm getting some jackwagon that wants to, keep doing it and making new accounts so he can come annoy the crap out of me, I'll just go into my settings real quick and change it. Done. Have fun. Like,
instead of canceling out everybody who's trying. Like,
right.
It's just
just give me the option to turn it off or on, or just there's so many other ways to go about doing it. Again, it was probably one of those situations where it was like a team that needed to get out like a minimum viable product and just put it out, and didn't really have a lot of thought behind it, and probably didn't talk to the necessary people before it went out.
Streamers.
Yeah.
It is weird how that happens, and they continue to do things that we literally have no control over. And when we complain about not having control over it, they're like, okay, we're sorry, we'll release this other thing you also have no control over and wonder why you're pissed off. Like, it's every time. It's crazy. It really is. It's like they just don't understand that streamers just want to be able to control their platforms. That's why people are on Twitch in the first place, as opposed to doing other things.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I don't think that Twitch as a whole has a good connection with everyone, simply because I don't see a lot of them that have the same aspirations as a lot of like other streamers do. Like, I don't see many people at Twitch who are also smaller streamers who then see the things we see. They don't have that connection, I don't think. Probably because A, they don't have time, and B, they probably communicate with people who are, much more pronounced streamers, so they focus on their issues, or I think that they come up with them more often. So I think it's, like I said, just like not having communication with the right groups.
Mm-hmm.
They need a liaison in a way.
Well, they were supposed to do. There was like that board of streamers that's supposed to be super helpful. That like Co-Carnage is on.
That was trust and safety. That was a whole different thing. That was for like. That was essentially just
a marketing ploy. PR move.
Yeah. It's a bit deeper than that, but not much deeper than that.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they really don't do anything.
Yeah.
Not that I know of. I'm not saying Co doesn't do anything. I'm just saying, like, I personally don't know of a single decision that board or collective group of people has made.
Oh, they will never make a decision. They're a consultation group. So it's like if you consulted to me about making your stream more Batman inclusive, you come to me, but you don't have to actually implement anything I say. Also, you don't have to really do anything with me. It's like you call me up like, hey, so I'm doing this thing. Would Batman enjoy this? And I'm like, yeah, he's Batman.
Right.
And then you'd be like, okay, so our consultant says Batman would enjoy this. So I guess we'll put it out there.
If they would have been using them, there's probably a lot of decisions that wouldn't have been made because they talked to those people.
They need a streamers like committee for that. Like I said, because
we need to unionize.
Yeah, unionize. That's funny.
Right.
That's gonna work really well.
Well, you'll also get into those situations where like a bunch of people will weigh in on stuff, and then you'll have the other people that are, in leadership or whatever, and they're like, yeah, what's the sample size? How much more data do we have? It sounds anecdotal to me. Let's just do it anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
True.
And as we know, in politics and in like life, the loudest wheel gets the grease.
Yeah.
That's very true. Let's see. I think I'm going to answer one more. I want to go over one more question that Sir Gannicus gave us. I'm going to save the other ones for next week, just so we're not like terribly short on stuff. Because it is Thursday and the next episode is on a Monday. Where is it? Just gotta navigate here. Okay, so the second question is: TikTok has been a catapult to my creativity. Should I use it as something the chat can spend their points on? Example being, I give so and so a shout out on TikTok in a cartoon voice I do while live on stream. I don't have the audience quite yet, but I know I'm going to. So basically what I said is like any sort of like sub reward or anything you do, like it doesn't really matter what other people's opinions are of it. if it makes sense to you and your community, because your community might be totally different than mine, which means that a lot of things that I do are not going to work for you, and vice versa. Like a lot of things that other communities and other streamers do don't work for me and my content. So you really have to be able to justify it yourself. But if it's something that your chat or your community asks for or seems like they want, then by all means go for it. Those are the people that are supporting you. So, I mean, don't let them control you in your stream per se, but also take advice and maybe take a couple hints from them every once in a while. Sadomi, what do you got on this one, man?
I mean, I say do something until it's impossible to do it if it's working. Always also, I don't really, you don't know unless you try. Sometimes you gotta just try stuff, see how it works.
Mm-hmm.
But remember, if it's not super scalable, keep that in mind and just like understand when, if it does pop off, like do it. Like don't figure out a way to keep it like in scale for you.
Mm-hmm.
But if it doesn't work, don't be afraid to scrap it. Don't be attached to it.
Yeah,
absolutely. So chat, I hope that we were able to help people out with their questions. If anybody had any questions that we didn't get to today, or if you want to ask us on Twitter or maybe next week, I don't know, my camera's not focusing right, imagine. You can hit us up on Twitter, or you can be here next week, Monday, 11 a.m. EST until 1 p.m. EST. You can ask us there and we'll go over it live on stream for you guys. But yeah, everybody, thank you for being here. Thanks for hanging out. Everybody who's listening after the fact, thank you so much for all your support. I know I've had some people come through my stream and just, you know, talk about their appreciation of the podcast and how much it's helped them, and that really does mean a lot to me and everybody else here. We really do like helping you guys out, and we hope we can make streaming a little bit better and easier for you. But with that being said, Robu, my guy, what can people expect when they find you, and where can they find you?
I stream now every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on twitch.tv/Robbusey. There's no underscore, no nothing, just Robbusey. And I play a lot of Diablo 3 mostly, and sometimes some horror games because I'm a huge horror game fan. But if you like Diablo 3 and hardcore, because I only play hardcore because people like to watch me cry when I lose my hardcore characters, you can come watch that. I'm also pretty high ranked on the hardcore leaderboard, so I'm usually like within the top 5 to 200 in North America. So I usually know what I'm talking about.
Weird. Okay. So chat, make sure to go follow Robbusey. I would highly appreciate it. I know he would as well. Really solid content over there. Really good dude. Go follow him or I'll ban you. That's facts. I'm not lying at all. Sadomi, my dude, where can people find you and what can they expect when they do? And what services do you provide to streamers?
You can find me on Twitter at Sadomi TV. I'm on a bit of a social media break because I'm doing an experiment on social media and mental health, which I don't have official details on, but essentially, delete Twitter from your phone. It's great. And yeah, you can find me there. I generally do help content creators with their content, their marketing plans, their content management. I edit videos for them, help them get set up on social media channels. One of my clients right now, we launched our YouTube channel about 3 weeks ago, and she's sitting at 3 videos and about 10,000 total views. So we're doing pretty good on that. And yeah, if you have any questions, hit me up there.
Oh yeah, thank you so much, chat. Make sure to go hit him up on social media, on his Twitter, Twitch, whatever, or I'll ban you. That's facts. But yeah, everyone, thank you again. I really appreciate every single one of you. I know that they do as well. We'll see you guys next week, Monday, 11 a.m. EST, for more topics and discussions about Twitch drama and hopefully questions you have about your own channels. But yeah, take it easy, everybody. Have a great one. Have a great weekend. Stay safe, and as always,
blaze it up.
There you go. Have a good one, everybody. What? What'd you say? What'd that guy just say?
What?
Get him out. Take it easy, everybody.